WNBA scouting report, Indiana Fever versus the Atlanta Dream, Game 3 in Atlanta. It's going to be a burner. Indiana Fever have got to be able to dig down deep. It's a quick turnaround. You get a day of rest or a day of travel, and now it's back to the court and see who's going to advance in the WNBA Playoff. This one's going to be a good one because the Indiana Fever, Stephanie White, has a new toy called defense. That's right. Defense wins championships. Indiana Fever can play defense like no other team remaining in the WNBA playoffs. And you got Coach Karl Smesko. He's got a tough task in front of him. Smart coach, good coach. He can go to a lot of things, but folks, here's one thing in the WNBA scouting report in Game 3 that I look as a huge advantage. The Indiana Fever have fresh legs. You've got fresh legs ready to go, ready to play. And what really does that mean? That means the Indiana Fever got a chance to do something nobody else has done, and it's going to be how they're going to dictate it or whether or not they're going to be able to get it done. Let's take a look at it. The Indiana Fever, they were able to hold the starters 60 points, right? You get 60 points out of this ball game. Brianna Jones, 22 minutes, minus 18. It's 8 points. Naz Hillman, minus 11, 8 points. Alyssa Gray, 30 minutes, minus 23, 9 points. Canada, again, minus 13. Howard, minus 24. There's no doubt about it. The Indiana Fever, those numbers are going to change for Game 3, but it really doesn't matter. And let me tell you why. The first one to get to 80 wins the game. What is it going to? It's probably a pick 'em. Vegas hasn't released the line on it yet, but I believe that the Indiana Fever at best could be minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. Somewhere around there. But here's the dictate. The fresh legs of the Indiana Fever defense, what wins this ball game. Now, you got Aerial Powers bringing fresh legs. That's no doubt about it. That's going to be huge as she carries the torch, right? But then you get to the bench, you got Petty. Petty's going to bring fresh legs. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Timpson's going to bring fresh legs. On the defensive end, the Indiana Fever can shut down the Atlanta Dream. There's nothing the Atlanta Dream can do about it. And the Indiana Fever, now that you're seeing them get the rotations, we talked about the triangle. We talked about how you're going to defend. We talked about the rotation, and now you're seeing in the defensive rotation, the 50-50 balls are landing in the Fever's hands. That's huge, right? Because you got transition the minute you pick that ball up, and you're starting to make steals, and you're held without a doubt. I mean, you held the Atlanta Dream. This is a tough one for the Dream to swallow. The Atlanta Dream could not get going, shot 38%, 37.9 from the field, came back 26% from the three-point line, and then you're going to come back and you shoot 50% at the free throw line. Okay, so their shooting was off. You can expect that to improve, but that goes down to dead legs. It goes back to dead legs. Fever shot 42% from the field, 42% from the three, and 100% from the free throw line. That's called locked in. Locked in was what the Indiana did. Now, when you get right to it and everybody's contributing, I'm going to go right back to it. And one more piece, the Indiana Fever got to adjust or, okay, you're going to really get the best you're ever going to see. That's Odyssey Sims. And I've been watching this for a minute. Odyssey Sims, a great ball player. Play with Brittany Griner. One thing that Odyssey, I can feel she's off tempo, and I got to figure out how do they get her back on tempo and execute, because when you have a point guard goes 1 for 10, you can't have that in Game 3. So if you go 1 for 5, now we got to distribute, and we got to figure out how we're going to get the best that we can do. Mitchell can take you home. If you can get Mitchell to the second round, Mitchell will win the second round. Las Vegas Aces dropped the ball game last night. And Stephanie White came out and said that was a master defense. Now, there's one other step in this defense the Indiana Fever got to take. And you can get close to being a master, but it's going to take a while because first you got to get the rotations, you got to get the triangle. Now you're going to get the 50-50 balls. And there's one other aspect that we do that we teach for professional players is the fact now you got to block shots, right? You got to block shots. The blocks are going to be the most important. I really think whoever blocks the most shots in Game 3 going to win the game. Indiana Fever have got to block shots, and that's going to shut down the Dream. You got to know that every time Brandon Jones put the ball on the floor, she can't score unless she takes 2 dribbles. So you got to cut that off, and you got to jam the screens, and that will open it up. Or now the Atlanta Dream are going to just be frustrated, and they're going to lose on their home court. You got to follow the money, is what Money Mike says, and I kind of told you the WNBA officials are going to see the light. This is the way it's got to work. I mean, we can't build this to host in 3,500 arenas when we got 17,000 we can put fans in. And I understand Becky; she wants to stay at home, but make it fair and make it competitive. Indiana Fever can win Game 3 on the defensive side of the ball. Stephanie White said masterclass. When you're going to start being a masterclass of defense, you got to start blocking shots. Coaching-wise, Coach Karl's out of gas on this one. He can coach everything you want from X's and O's, but one thing a coach can't coach is tired legs. Indiana Fever have fresh legs. Atlanta Dream's legs are tired. This is the Money Mike Syndicated Radio Podcast. All things are possible to those who believe. Game 3, we gave it to you. Indiana Fever going to win this one on the defensive side of the basket. We'll see you soon.